Hey everyone, welcome back. We had a nice week off and we have a lovely guest here today, Chelsea.
Hi.
I did it right. I went,
ha! How's everybody doing this week?
I'm doing good. It's getting a lot of work done, so I feel productive.
That's always good. Bri, how are you this week?
I got more medicine from the doctor.
So that's always good.
Not in pain, so I'm good.
That's what we like to hear. We like to hear.
Took more out of me than I realized.
Shock.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I said I've been out, have not said why. I think majority is just our friends that watch us anyways, which I think all know, but I have blood clots in my lungs and am on a lot of painkillers and blood thinners and a whole lot of stuff. And walking around, even though we were just walking around and playing Lorcana, exhausted me. I was worn out.
Chelsea's shirt is fantastic.
It is the best.
I did this myself.
Forrest the dog. That's funny you say that because I have Forrest the dog with me.
Are you commenting from next to Bri?
He's so good. More tech savvy than his mom is.
So, question of the day that we have, because surprisingly enough, we are already approaching set champs, which just feels wild. Set champs starts this weekend.
So early.
What decks are we thinking about playing?
Chelsea,
I wonder what deck will you be playing?
Jeez, I don't know.
For those that aren't aware, Chelsea, we play locals together. And we have been playing. How long have you been playing Lorcana?
We started picking up Lorcana right when Ursula was released.
Okay.
And I think we started going to League in Fort Worth area probably around September.
Okay.
October.
All right. We love it.
Almost a year playing at League.
Oh, Beefy Boy Forrest is making an appearance tonight. And I'm not wearing Enchanted Chatter gear because it's Watson's birthday. So I had to wear the Watson shirt.
How old is Watson?
Watson's 5. So he is 2 in my brain because he's not allowed to age. He's just a baby.
Forrest is my baby, and I can tell it whenever I overdo it because he does this and he holds me down. On Monday, I sat on the couch and he immediately just plopped on me. And my husband was like, "Forrest, what are you doing?" He was just like,
taking care of mom. This weekend we all played at the PPG Summit.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, whoop.
Chelsea, this was your first competitive event, right?
Yes, it was.
What did you think? What were your first thoughts whenever we first were like, "Hey, Chelsea, we're gonna do team trios," and that's you. You are we.
I like being included in things.
Chelsea was like, "Are you gonna feed me too? Okay, sure, let's go."
I was like, okay, I like doing events with friends and stuff, and it makes things more fun. And main thing I was happy about was that you told me it was going to be cold to dress warm.
Yeah, I think
the venue was freezing.
That room was cold, but I'll take that over the alternative of it being hot and then there being stinky boys.
And it was cold that day too, in general.
Yeah, it was cooler in Texas. It was a nice weekend for people that came in traveling because it was much hotter the days leading up to the weekend.
Yes, it definitely was.
Yeah.
So Bri and I played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You played on Sunday.
Yes.
Bri, what were your thoughts on Friday and Saturday?
So my only downside, Friday, I was killing it. I was undefeated for the whole day, not even a game loss.
I think you were undefeated until round 5? 4
or 5. It was 5. It was 5 because I was stressing. I was like,
Mom stress,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, because round
I feel
4,
like this is a
I
very
got-
real scenario that happens. Like something happens outside of a tournament, and then your mind gets taken away from the event, and you just kind of lose your momentum.
Yeah, I lost everything. I got a call in between rounds that completely just like had me insta stressed about my son.
He's totally fine.
He's totally fine. Everything's fine. Like he was not hurt. There was no hospital bills for him. Like
just
he is a-okay.
Mom stress.
Just mom stress. And so that happened. Full on distracted me, and then threw me into a panic of I started counting my cards to make sure my deck was right. So I was like,
oh yes,
I had for no reason convinced myself that I was about to get pulled on stream, and my deck was going to be wrong when they deck checked me.
Yeah,
and I
panicked. We did have a panic of Bri and I sitting off to the side, counting her cards, checking her cards against her deck list. Her deck list was totally fine. There was nothing wrong. But when she initially counted, she counted 61 cards, which was incorrect.
Yeah.
We confirmed there were no extra cards. It was exactly the list that you submitted was the cards that were in your deck.
Yeah. Just for absolutely no reason, especially considering I had checked it 3 times the night before, as well as my husband checked it twice. So like there was like a 0
in the back of your head.
Like
it was just I had a feeling that I was about to get pulled onto the stream, and then I got sat at table 1, and I was like, "Oh my god! Oh no! Oh no!"
Also, this is actually very funny. Kirby did have a set champ where she accidentally was missing 4 cards and made it to top cut, and then immediately disqualified herself when she realized it.
Yeah. Poor Kirby was so embarrassed, and luckily, like it was a set champ, so it was locals, and it was like literally like it's all people we were friends with, so she really had no reason to be like as upset with herself as she was, because no one was upset with her. Everyone was just like, "Oh, Kirby,
I get it. Like it happens. Like we know it wasn't intentional."
Like literally, Kirby was horrified. I can confirm. She was like, we were like, Kirby, you are okay. Like even Joey was judging it, and he was like, literally, Kirby, nobody is upset with you.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Like accidents happen. It is okay. But yeah, I convinced myself that I was doing great, and then right after all the chaos happened that Friday, I went into a steel matchup. I want to say that one was purple steel.
Yeah,
it was and I was playing ruby amethyst. I call it grape soda, even though it's really not that. But whenever it's amethyst steel, I call it grape soda because it's purple and a little spicy.
A little loud. Sorry, I got distracted because there was thunder.
That was thunder.
It's like a blue sky outside.
Texas.
Gray.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. I just see a blue sky. So
also, Forrest is in front of my mic, so if there's heavy breathing, that could have just been him.
No, it was definitely thunder. So you played Ruby Am on Friday
and Saturday. I stuck with it Saturday.
You played on Saturday? I forgot.
I did play it Saturday. I did change the deck though from Friday going into Saturday. Which after because it was me and 2 other people that were playing pretty much the same deck. Yeah. Actually, we're not pretty much we were playing the exact same deck. They sent me their list at like midnight, 12:30. Friday night, they sent me a new list at like 1:30 in the morning, which at that point, I was like, I'm in bed. I'm committed to the last iteration y'all sent me. But
and I played Steel Song both Friday and Saturday. I changed. I did, however, I've been playing Steel Song almost this entire set and most of.
Steel Song is just your jam. Like
I took a break from it last set because it was so bad in the meta.
Yeah,
it wasn't doing. Yeah,
but you were also playing what I call grape soda.
Yes.
Which you are also very, very good at.
Well, those are definitely Amethyst, Steel, and Steel Song are
fairly similar.
Definitely my favorite color combos and ink combos. But I decided Pride Lands is where it's at. I was not playing a Pride's Land very.
Okay, listen. I'm just saying. I did play Kirby round 1 on that
It's
Saturday, and whenever it pops off and you don't draw the answers for it, and you can't control it, there's really nothing you can do.
No. I felt so. I've been playing it all set, and I obviously was on vacation for the last week, so I didn't play leading into PPG.
Yeah, that was my problem. I did not playtest enough going into it. I outsourced my playtesting to people that I trust. Clearly, I highly trust, because I was like, hey, what list are y'all running? Cool. I'm just going to play that exactly. But I did not get to play.
It isn't a bad thing, but I do definitely, I felt like if I had play tested and knew my lines better in some of my harder matchups, I think I would have had a better day both days.
Saturday, my day was so rough that I carried my Saturday into my Sunday because I saw the exact same decks the first couple rounds. Yeah. Sunday. I was just like, I hate it here.
So we'll talk a little bit more about Sundays, but I figured we'll jump into our list, or else we're going to forget our list of things we wanted to talk about today, which is a very common trend for Bri and I.
I've noticed.
Chelsea's like, I noticed. I watched. So let me share my screen. The first thing we wanted to briefly go over, and I say briefly because obviously Worlds happened. Not that it's not a big deal. It just is a very different format than core construction.
Them having 3 decks and playing those out, and that's a completely different than a constructed.
Right. So like with you being able to ban a deck, it really changes how you deck build. Because for example, like you would probably always want to ban what deck, Chelsea?
Steel Song.
Oh, Steel Song. I was expecting you to say any item build.
Oh, no, honestly, after she kicked all the butt of item builds this weekend, she should absolutely play all of the item builds, because she just crushed them under her heel all week, all Sunday.
Absolutely.
Look, my face was hot afterwards. I was stressed.
You carried the team.
You did.
DKP obviously took first place. This is just a breakdown of the top 8 decks and their builds for the triple deck constructed. So it was a lot more of a variant than I expected. I think I wasn't surprised that there were 3 for the like Amethyst, Emerald, Steel Song, and then the Ruby Amethyst build, or not Amethyst, Sapphire.
The Baja Blast is an interesting one to have.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Man, I played against that was the round I dropped on Friday. It was after playing Baja Blast. And in my like soul, I was just like, Randall.
It's all his fault.
It's such a fast deck too.
Yeah. And there was just they had perfect hands that like I don't even know how I would have played.
You can't. Yeah. You would have to draw perfectly to draw into their perfect and still hope.
Yeah.
I will say, seeing that Red Blue with Bibbins playing it though, like watching it, I was like, oh, this game is going to take forever, or it's going to be very quickly. And I was like, if it doesn't end quickly, he's basically got the game. It's like,
so that's because it wasn't Randall who I was playing. I just cursed him, kind of like how I cursed Joey whenever my aerials whiff.
It's okay. I was playing Kirby whenever she played an aerial, and I go, Joey touched the aerials, and she was like, what? And then she whipped on the aerial. She's like, what did you do? And I was like, Joey booted magic.
Mm-hmm. Bri's husband is notorious for whiffing on aerials. Like, we've done the math. We've the stats are not in.
I think it's just he whiffs so much because that's what he plays so often.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man.
But I didn't start whiffing until he came around my deck too much. So I blame Joey.
It's his fault. Definitely not this sweet boy's fault.
No.
I like how I had my feet propped up, and so my legs are level with the tops of the arms of the chair. So I think that's why he was like, "Oh, this is way more comfortable than just sitting in the chair next to mom."
For the meta breakdown, this includes the tournaments from this weekend. Of Born Heroes.
I feel like the aggro Ember Steel was a lot higher at PPG. That's literally what I saw for 6 rounds in a row. I was like, oh my gosh, why?
So super strange. I did not run into a single aggro deck. I ran into mainly the burn, the DKP version of blue red, and then
that's what I was anticipating seeing a lot of, and I didn't see any of it. I didn't play a single red blue deck.
You know what I play?
And you know what you crushed?
Yeah.
Every single thing that I played was red, blue, was items.
Yeah. So we can probably, because I feel like Bri and I covered day 1 and day 2, we can touch on the day 3, which is we played the 3v3 format. But I think the one piece of feedback a lot of us had for PPG was we would kindly ask that they nail down their 3-game format a little bit early, because I think initially
the rules kept changing.
Yeah. So initially when I reached out, they said it was going to be 1 game per 1 of 1 essentially for each person on the team. And then you would report that. But then it ended up being best of 3. And
the seating was kind of all kind of up in the air. No, they weren't. Everything else for the weekend, I would say they all the judges, everyone seemed to be pretty much on the same page. The 3v3 seemed to be the only thing that there was confusion on.
Which, I mean, it was a new event.
Yeah.
For a tournament. I don't think I've ever seen a 3v3 at one of these large tournaments before. I also will admit, are a little snooty because we get to play a 3v3 tournament.
And we've got it. And also how we have it is we've done it a few times where now it's down.
Yeah. So we've worked the kinks out of it. So I definitely I give them all the grace. It was still a very fun tournament, but it was
everybody we played was super
nice.
Fun.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh.
I think we had a great experience with all of our opponents. We had a good time.
I mean, round 1 we played TFM, and I'm pretty sure we were the loudest just because all 6 of us were just laughing.
Yes, that was a very good round 1. I was sad we got paired into them because I got cooked by Melissa.
I played Ben playing Amber Steel.
Yeah, so you also got
I was on a lemon lime aggro. I was like, listen, everyone's gonna be playing lemon lime discard. I can lemon lime aggro if I see mirror match or if I see red blue, which is what I was anticipating. I can go under a mirror because I don't need to draw much, and red blue I'll just win because I just go fast. I didn't see any of that though.
Yeah,
the seat I chose was apparently the steel seat.
How many?
Me and Chelsea should have switched.
I think all but one.
All but the last round.
Mm-hmm.
Every round, we played 4 rounds?
Yeah.
So the first 3 rounds, everybody was red-blue that I played against. Every red-blue player, even the ones we didn't play, were sitting in middle the entire time.
So I played Ruby Sapphire. You played
Amethyst Steel.
And Bri played Emerald Amber. Which I think was the pretty common breakdown of the teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seemed the only other variant was if they were playing red, blue, and Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald.
I think everybody played Ruby, Sapphire, and then
it was the other 4 that were
variant in
either
the other 2.
Yeah.
decks, splitting those inks.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't see more Emerald Steel discard, honestly, in the 3v3. Because that's so strong against red blue specifically.
It's interesting. I know I talked to Derek, Lorcana Kid. He is still on discard build, and he said he did terrible. Like, he did not have good matchups. So I don't think it's really strong in the meta right now.
I was thinking specifically for the 3v3, because the 3v3 kind of is its own meta.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why I was like, I'm surprised I didn't see it more in that, just because we were like, you're a high chance of seeing red blue because it's so strong right now. There's no way that that teams aren't going to be playing it. That's why it was pretty much in every build, as well as the Amber Steel. I mean, you can see it in even the meta breakdown right now. They're just too powerful to not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was worried because our friend from locals, Remington, he plays an item deck, but his is so, for me, compared to the ones we played over this past Sunday, his is very fast paced. Like, he can get items down like that, and he does all this math in his head and has like all these sapphire coils.
Also Remington though, like that's just like red and blue. That's just what he has played since I think England. And so he is a very quick Ruby Sapphire player because he has done it for so long and so often that's just like breathing for him. He's like, oh, he can turn his brain off and play Ruby Sapphire, which is like basically unheard of.
Yeah, so that's what I was like worried about, because I was like, okay, I know how fast Remington is. I don't know if I can keep up.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, like, none of them were items like his, I guess. Like,
I think most I saw were the DKP variant. Mm-hmm. So I think you had a really good matchup into that because you were you were playing a really good Amethyst Steel deck. That you are insanely familiar with. And that's also where I was going to say, we talked about how we didn't do enough playtesting. And I felt like watching you just school people with your deck, I was like, yeah, it helps.
Yeah, it proved the needing to play more.
Yeah. I try to play like Ricky, my boyfriend, he has 3 or 4.
Hi, Ricky. You can have your shout out now.
Thank you for being our photographer for Sunday. You killed it. Well, we took a couple photos in between baby runs, but that was it.
He has like 3 or 4 different decks that he likes to play test or do different builds. So I'm constantly playing my Amethyst Steel against each deck. And every time, like, if I lose against it, I'm like, okay, again. Okay, again. And so we'll constantly do that. Even when at League, like, I ask y'all, like, hey, like, let's replay this or play a different deck. I want to play it with this.
And I think that I guess this is a question for you. Did you feel like going into 3v3 and like your first bigger competitive event, like while you were there, did it feel much different than normal League?
I don't think so, because I had y'all beside me. Okay. So, like, I think the joking and even, like, the people that we played against were very friendly. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that took the edge off of, like, being, like, nervous.
That's fair. I will say, like, even in the bigger, like, tournaments, so the 10 and 15K on Friday and Saturday, that's a pretty normal demeanor that I see from most of my opponents. Now, obviously you'll get 1 or 2 people that don't have that and are like super, super serious. But I think for the most part with Lorcana, and something that I've enjoyed, and it's made it where like I'm not afraid to go to competitive events and been able to like get out there way more frequently, is because everybody is so friendly. We'll give them a full screen moment.
Yeah, I mean, I even talked about it when we got interviewed by Dan, but on Friday, we were around like 3, I think, and the guy I was playing against was being really quiet, and I could just tell he was really nervous. And then finally he said, like, it's like my first like big tournament. And he was doing really well, and he started getting like really nervous, and like Melissa was also at the same table as me, and so just started joking around and like laughing and just having a good time. And just like the whole table was laughing and joking together as our matches were going. It was funny. Melissa was like, Bri, what are you doing down at the other end of the table? You are so loud. I was like, he was nervous. I was trying to help him.
That first round too for me like helped a lot because y'all were all joking together, and so they were all super like outgoing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, like I feel
it's okay. that's good to hear.
And it didn't feel like super serious when we were playing either. Like it.
Yeah, and that's it's funny, Bri, that you bring up that opponent because I also had an opponent I think it was round 2 on Friday where we finished our first game. They won. I don't remember what deck they were even playing, but they played it well. Nothing crazy happened during the game, but at the end, we're shuffling to start up our second round. And he goes, hey, like, did I do anything like off during our first game or anything that you thought was, wrong? And I was like, no. And I was kind of confused because I was like, was I too serious? Like, did I give him the impression that like I wasn't having fun?
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking I did something. And he's like, oh, my last round opponent called me a troll. And I was just like, well, I was just so confused because he was very quiet, very nice. I even said, like, I was like, the only thing I can think of is you were playing
like an off meta deck.
He was playing a little bit off meta, but I don't even think it was crazy off meta. And
it probably
I just said
like I can see people saying a troll. It can go either way, and
right.
Like,
I think
not
it was
like
very,
I think
his deck was.
He probably needed more context from the guy. And we also don't know who said it. It could have been in like how he said it too. We weren't there, obviously. He could have said it in a way. Obviously, it was in a way that it was bothering him still even the next round.
Yeah. But I basically said, I was like, no, I mean, you're doing fine. Like you were playing a little bit slow, but like not to a point where I would say like you're slow playing. You could tell you were thinking through your moves, and that was it. But like after that point, like our next 2 games went like it was such a better interaction because I think like
he was just
the stress and he was
stressed about that.
That's such we talk about Randall a lot, but that's something that definitely gets to people. And Randall's the one that comes to mind when I think about that, where he gets really concerned about like making other people have a bad time with what he's doing, that it like completely like he can't play well because he is so worried that he is making it harder for his opponent. His famous first words to Chelsea whenever they started playing together was, "Are you having fun?" Yeah. like that's it. Chelsea being on there is exactly what makes me think of it. I'm like, that's such. I was like, did you play? Was it Randall?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Randall. Randall would be like, some guy called me a troll.
Yeah, no, like playing Randall as set champs, like I knew immediately what he was playing, and he was like,
I'm sorry,
are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just know what the outcome's going to be.
But it's just nice, I think, that the community like definitely understands that we're like you're playing another human being, and most of the time
I'd like appreciate PPG like announcing that like, hey, like the person across from you is a human being. Like they seem to be pretty on top of keeping people, as long if it was brought to their attention, they seem to be pretty good about hey, like don't be a jerk. Yeah,
it's always good to see that.
Yeah, props to PPG. Honestly, I think overall they did a good event.
It was a fantastic event. My biggest compliment for them is that thing ran spot on time.
Oh, that was so nice. I was like, oh, Friday. It was like we're going.
We're at dinner by 8:00 on Saturday. Fantastic.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Sorry, Bri. We had to go home and take care of the baby.
Went to bed.
Speaking of, big shout out to TFM. Dan did a great job hosting this weekend. I think he did a fantastic job featuring different community members. Not that I'm selfishly saying that because he put us on stream, but he also, I just think, did a fantastic job interviewing players, and the stream went really well. I heard that repeatedly from people that were watching, and I'm excited.
Everyone kept talking about how great Liam was doing. Like people like that. I was telling to like watch like my family, friends, people out there were like, they're like, oh, he sounded like great. I was like, well, this is pretty low stakes for him compared to last week.
Yeah, relaxed. Yeah, and it was great seeing Liam and Aaron this weekend. It was just nice.
Oh, my heart, the little tots playing together.
Oh yes, Bri's heart.
That'll make me cry. Now I have to get him a sticker book because she shared hers with him, and now he wants stickers.
I think the only question I have left for Chelsea from this weekend is, what's the next competitive event that you're going to do with us?
I don't know. Y'all just tell me.
Yes.
That's the energy I like. We're just going to drag you along with us.
Okay.
It's because Courtney's the planner, and I just enjoy being the passenger princess as well.
And I just ask off work.
So, I feel like a great story would be to share how I met Chelsea. So Ricky had been playing League at Sci-Fi for a while. Like I had met him a few times, and all of a sudden you showed up and I was like, another girl. Yes. And I was like, hi, I'm Courtney. Basically how I chose you, Bri. I was like,
and you texted me and you were like, there's another girl.
I was like, do you need any cards for your deck? I like your deck. I like those colors. I
was like, thanks.
And I was just like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure she comes back here.
And the first time I met Bri, I thought like I was giving off really like bad vibes because I had such a bad migraine, and then I got a call from a coworker asking about her dog.
Oh, I remember that too.
And so Bri was talking to me, and I was like, she probably thinks I am not interested in this conversation. I was like, I have such a bad sinus headache. And then the next time me and Bri like met at League like next week or so, I was like, I am so sorry. She goes, no, I had a headache too. Like we're good.
No, I was like, I had a headache. I didn't feel good. It was my mommy night away, and I was like, I came to still get my night away, but I was like, I'm exhausted. I want to go home and go to bed.
Valid.
Yeah, very, very valid.
More beverage themed events potentially coming soon.
Yes. Before we get into those, I do want to give a shout out, one last shout out from this weekend to Mike Angel, who made these amazing 20 lore playmats. Thank you.
Oh, I need to go get my thing that he gave for me. Pause.
Hey, Aaron.
He gave me a thing. I have to show it off.
He is an amazing artist. He also made the playmats for the Hunter Burton, which was an amazing event, and he's done that now for 2 years for Lorcana. So I was thinking that it was more. I don't know. That's just my favorite.
I love that the foiling on playmats. Like I love that people have started doing this.
Yes.
It makes it look so much better. They I saw several that I really wanted, but I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I saw this. I was able to guess the character that Angel did.
Yeah.
And I was able to guess it, so he gave it to me. And I was like,
I also got a print of the playmat, the lamp. He gave that to me as well. So I will be hanging that in my office. Probably next
perfectly
to
over my computer to my right. I already know where it's going to
go. You also have a Tink flag from Leagues, and I will be.
I want it.
Oh, I have an Elsa one.
Yes.
Yeah, I won two, but then Derek, it was the queen, and Derek was so excited for the queen. And I remember like they were like, "Oh, you won this one too." And I was like, I like looked up at you for like half a second. You're like, "You're gonna do it, aren't you?" And I was like,
Yep.
And he has it up on his wall. He told me he has it in his room, and it's right behind his computer. So whenever he does his classes and like they're on stream and stuff, it's always behind him.
Yep. And whenever he's like plays games, it's always in the background. Whenever he plays any webcam games, it's very cute. He loves that. Makes me happy. So next events, we finally have some DLCs. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty accurate way to describe the community's feelings. Excited.
Also, like I love that they're all like in the States, but also North America is all in the United States, and there are 2 other countries in North America.
Yes.
That got just nothing.
And
nothing
apparently, like, even the U.S. is just the Midwest/East Coast, which I feel like we're at least lucky because those flights are still manageable for us from Texas.
Yeah, but still, like,
I'm worried about how harder it's going to be to try and get in because everybody is.
It was so hard last time, and there were 6. They literally cut it in half for us, at least.
Yeah,
I was like, man, it's gonna be rough trying to get.
It's gonna be like trying to get a Labubu.
Which Bri's odds are pretty good right now.
I have 6 of them coming.
So you're getting this.
Yeah, we know Bri's luck is going to come. So they did change the format a little for season 2. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for best of 3.
I love best of 3.
Do not like best of 2. It's not my vibe. I always feel like if I had one more game, maybe even if I'm not on the play for the last game, I still like having that third match.
My issue is
it makes me feel so much better if I can win on the draw.
Constant tying.
It boosts my ego if I can win on the draw.
I need to call out. Marion had all of us after Sunday. We went to get ice cream, and she had us all sign up to make accounts to try to get these Labubus. I'm not a Labubu.
Well, we made you sign up. The rest of us were already signed up.
I was already signed up.
John was not
texting Chelsea about it. I was like, "This is the one." I'm so excited. Who won? Illumities are asking who won. Who won what?
Oh, wait. I don't know. I've lost.
We lost train of thought.
The Labubus. Bri and Marianne won. They got a case each. So
yeah, of like the legit Labubus. And then at the PPG event, they were doing the Win a Disney Labubu.
Yes.
And our good friend Jonathan Crow, shout out, won one for me because I lost. But he won one, and we came back and tried to and
Kyle won a Labubu for Marianne as well.
Yeah.
Wait, a case of who is that? There is a small chance that sometime we'd like to have them in hand before we
make sure they actually get
officially announce it. But there may be some type of giveaway for a Labubu on Enchanted Chatter.
I just have to figure out which box I want to open. And resist the urge to just rip open all 6 of them.
Out like that. I wasn't gonna say that. See, this is what I mean. It's not always Bri and I humbling Kyle. It's definitely
Kyle's life is to be humbled.
Katie will freak. Yeah, I definitely know she has a good collection going.
I don't have a collection, but I did order 2 Lafufus.
I love Lafufus. Okay, we can only talk so much Labubus.
Yes. Yeah.
Season 2 format. Day 1, 8 rounds of Swiss, best of 3. Day 2, 4 rounds of Swiss, best of 3. And then single elimination for top 32. And then the grand finale being best of 5.
That's crazy.
I like the best of 3 format. I have heard a lot of people talking about how 12 rounds of best of 3 is daunting for a new player, and I don't disagree. And
It's
you
a lot of Lorcana.
definitely still get, like, obviously this is a competitive event, but you still get a good amount of casual players that will go and play these challenges. I feel like where the challenge will be their first big competitive event.
Especially because this is not areas they had the DLCs last year. So people that are going to be local to there, they're going to try to get tickets that just because it's right there.
Yeah.
And like, Bri, I'm trying to think, how many rounds is CCS normally? Do you know?
9.
They've had 9, right?
9 rounds cut to
top 12 or top 8. And like this
Yeah.
weekend was cut to top 8.
And it was 9 rounds of Swiss.
And it was now 9 rounds. I was just thinking, like, I don't think I've been to an event that is 12 rounds.
I think 9 has been the highest that I've been to, but 9, that's why it has to be like it's going to go into day 2 because
right.
You can't, it's literally 9 is like a max they could do for a day. There's no way if it's best of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, it's too much. You would be there so late. You'd have to you're already getting there at like, that's with them starting at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm. I love you. Lemon-cheers. You guys are the best. This will not stand. I love you guys. You guys are really the best.
Adore them. They're funny.
They're also going to do Infinity for the third challenge for both North America and Europe. That's going to be the main like format, which I think is so cool. So Infinity is going to be where they're not having rotations. It'll have a separate ban list. And then there will be side events at the other challenges.
No, so there only one has the Infinity as the main event.
Yes, so it's the third challenge in both the US and Europe.
Okay.
I think that's going to be interesting because
I have opinions about the separate ban list. But that's
speak your mind. You've got a microphone in front of you.
You have a microphone. Use it, baby.
But no, you can speak your mind.
I didn't want to interrupt, but
like I interrupt her all the time
because we all thought they were going to keep the ban list that we have now as part of Infinity because you're still going to be playing with the cards that with all sets
exist today.
People might not agree with me, but I think if we're still going to keep as Infinity, keep all the old sets, we should still keep the cards that we've already banned. Because, I mean, they did keep the errata Bucky out. But,
yeah.
I think...
Yeah, once he's errata, they can't go back.
Right. Well, I do think... I would not be surprised if, give it a month, we see...
It's just going to start running into the same problems as to why they banned it in the first place.
Yeah. But I do find it interesting that... Because I think... When they originally announced Infinity format, they said that there would still be a ban list.
Yeah.
And I think everybody made the assumption, right or wrong, that they would still see Hiram and Fortisphere banned. So it is interesting that now on last week's Lorecast, they mentioned that they're not. Yeah. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm excited. I do think that also means that the third challenge, I think the meta is going to be wild for that because we don't know if we're going to see a huge local support for stores to have both Infinity and Core Constructed. Because that's going to be 2 separate nights that you have leagues for those 2 formats.
And trying to figure all that out for each store too.
Figuring that out for all stores, getting a crowd for both formats, 2 separate nights. People are busy. It's It's as simple as that. Like
we go
And
to
also
two
with
different
so
places.
many stores around you, like
Yeah.
we have locals that run, like we have people that go, like there's Monday nights, there's Monday night card even, Tuesday Eclipse, Wednesday everyone tunes into Enchanted Chatter, Manifest. Thursday they go to Sci-Fi. Like there are days like every store where we have friends that legit will go to all of the leagues at all the different stores. So
Yeah.
if they're trying to play in both, they're gonna have to sacrifice some days, and
The only thing I could see them maybe doing is if they did 1 week core, 1 week infinity, like go back and forth.
Yeah.
I think stores will do seasons based on the upcoming DLC formats. That's fair. That would be smart.
They'll probably have it laid out for them, honestly, in the kits that they send for leagues. They might have it. The Ravensburger might already have like a set idea layout for them that they just send it to them, like, hey, you are approved through us to run the stuff, so this is how you do it.
Yeah, Kirby, I think that this is a really good point. I know that we've seen league kind of like attendance dwindle down quite a bit. I know last night, I mean, there were four of us.
There was only 4 of us
at our normal league. And I think that league, typically we see like 8 to 10 players. It is the middle of summer though. And a lot of people go on vacations now.
And also with the big event over the weekend, some people just might have just needed like a mental break.
Yeah,
exactly. Which is super common. So I think it'll be interesting to see how league kind of plays out as we go into set 9. Now, okay, I have seen way too many things. I don't know if this championship date is correct because if you go on the Lorcana website, it says September and doesn't give a date. So take this with a grain of salt. I do know that Milwaukee, Richmond, and Indy, those dates match the website. But I just pulled this graphic and was like, wait, why is this different? What did I miss?
I think Indy would be the one that we would try to go to.
So that'll be the infinity format.
Yeah.
My cards will be ready to read any.
Well, I'm keeping my mims, baby.
I'm keeping my mims.
I'm keeping my mims and my rabbit and my goat.
That's fair. That actually means for me that challenge 3 fits even better for you. You're not getting rid of any mims. I respect that.
Since the DLC announcements, a lot of leagues have just kind of died off. It's very sad. A lot of people are very still upset.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we waited so long for announcements, and then it's like, okay, we're making a big announcement. Everyone was really excited because they were doing the stream, and then it was like, actually, for y'all, you have to wait even longer. Wait until Worlds, and then it got to Worlds, and they're like, okay, we have it all ironed out. Here's everything for y'all, and we're like, wait, we waited this long for this?
Yeah, it definitely was like a womp womp womp.
Yeah,
moment.
I think if people had to wait so long to get the announcement, they wouldn't have been so upset. But people have been waiting for so long to hear anything that it was just rough.
And then like with the whole new world promo, they said like originally you could have a chance to get it during the world stream, and then they changed it, and that's
the last one.
For Infinity, which selfishly, I'm not that upset because I was gonna have to be begging all of my friends because I need a play set of those. So now hopefully that means
it doesn't matter. It's supposed to get rotated out. Rochelle already said it was not going to get reprinted.
It's fine. I'll play it in Infinity.
That's another thing. Why make this beautiful card?
I know. I'm really sad about that.
I think that's just, it's like make it unplayable, but it's like you're going to decrease the value of that card significantly, even though it's a beautiful card, just because it's going to be unplayable.
But we say it's unplayable, but it's only
it's still Infinity. It's just primarily it's the crowd, I think, at the moment is still in that core constructed.
Right, it is, which is fair.
Do we think that core is going to be popular, or do we think Infinity is going to be the more popular of the two?
I feel like they're trying to push for Infinity to kind of take over more than core constructed, honestly. It feels, at least as of right now, it feels like there's been a big push for Infinity. Like they're encouraging that.
I would argue that they're trying to hype up Infinity, but I don't think that they're trying to replace core. I think they're like trying to hype it so that people will play Infinity, but I don't think they're trying to hype it to take over for core.
I think it's going to depend on what cards get reprinted.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
Because a lot of people that are playing like these big, like the meta decks and like the decks that they've been playing for a while have all these good cards that probably aren't going to get reprinted.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure a bunch of my deck is not going to get reprinted.
But also too, if they alternate, like if they're like, okay, we're doing, these are the DLCs for core constructed with a side event of Infinity. And then maybe they'll have a season of, these are all equivalent to like a DLC level, but it's Infinity focused with a core constructed side event type of thing. And that might also depend on what people are more focusing on for whatever week. Because if it's like, oh, I know I'm going to this event, and it's primarily this.
If I had to put my RB hat on, I think how for Worlds this year, thank you. For Worlds this year, we will see potentially like the triple deck core format, Infinity, and sealed. Like it will be those three formats.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we'll see, 2 challenges be core constructed and 1 be Infinity. And I think they'll probably keep that cadence because I think core will always be like the bigger pull.
Yeah.
Like they want that to be like the top like played format, but they also want people, if you're, competing to be number 1, the champion for Worlds, you need to be able to play all formats. So I think like I can see that. And then maybe eventually like other card games, you'll see it split where it's 2 separate categories once there's like a bigger population in both. If that
like
makes
how
sense.
like the newer players are obviously going to go towards core more than Infinity, whereas the older seasoned players are going to go towards Infinity,
especially because of card availability.
Yeah. And like it was funny, I was checking right before this, I hope that everybody was able to sign up for, it's not a giveaway because you're buying it, but like you had the opportunity to enter a raffle to get a box of
I saw that.
The opportunity to purchase.
Yes. And technically we were supposed to find out if we won today because it said 24 hours after it closed. So like, I guess yesterday really. And I've been refreshing that page like crazy because I want to open another Enchanted. The box is here. It's on my desk. So Chelsea gave me some shade before we started because I said I was reorganizing my Enchanteds and promo cards, and this is Enchanted and promo cards.
Yeah.
And what did you tell me?
What must it be like to be God's favorite?
I wish. I'm not.
You
I
want
had
to see the size of my coat that we have ours in, Chelsea?
Yeah, it's more. What is it like to be irresponsible?
You know, I have less than 10.
But you have those cute little owls.
I did. Randall actually hooked me up with some good Enchanteds.
You got some good ones.
Randall's
I did play them in my Amethyst Steel for a little bit, but then I went to Stevens because I wanted to win.
Speaking of, big shout out to Steven, who's just
we're so proud of you
eating these past few months with Lorcana tournaments and kicking butt.
Yeah, he made top 4 Saturday, and he has been just absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed it at Hunter Burton. He got his rematch with Aaron twice, I believe,
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday, and beat him both times.
Yep. Which also, big shout out to Lorcana Bro for bringing Luffy.
Yep, that's
because
I didn't know if he was going to be able to bring him or not.
Luffy.
I didn't know if he was going to be able to bring Luffy or not because of how I was like, Austin isn't exactly close, so yeah. I don't know if he'll be able to bring him or not. But I was so glad that he did.
Did you see a corgi on Sunday?
No, he was not there Sunday.
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so. I saw one working dog, but it was not a corgi.
Okay. So Lorcana Bro, which actually, taking a moment, if you don't follow Lorcana Bro on Instagram, you should, because he posted a video of him singing a cover. And it's hilarious and wonderful, and I'm impressed. I didn't know that he could play guitar and sing. He can do both.
I just see all the pictures of Luffy at events, and I'm like, yes, this is the content people want.
It is.
Give the people what they want, which is more Luffy.
I am also convinced it is a Ratatouille situation, and Luffy is absolutely the brains behind the operations.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you have a corgi, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends for a brief moment because I gave him a treat, and I felt like the chosen one. He kissed my hand, and I was like, Aaron! He was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I'm loved.
We do have the breakdown here for Worlds invites. One thing that got mentioned last week on the Lorecast was they hinted at there being ways to get invited to, I'm not sure if it was Worlds or Continentals, that other events might happen where you can earn spots for Continentals. So
yeah,
we'll see. They said that they weren't ready to announce that yet. So hopefully we'll learn more about that soon.
Yeah.
But it is nice. Like, I am very happy that we're seeing Asia, Australia, and
there's still the same amount of DLCs that they had last time. So they probably had just like a set budget still from same as the previous year, because there's still the same amount of total champions. They just had to kind of stretch it out over different areas.
Yeah, but I mean, I am very excited
event
to see.
I like to think that maybe PPG with like what they did this weekend, maybe that was kind of like a trial run.
Yeah.
For it to kind of see how it worked and see how it went.
And even CCS, like
SCG,
some of those other third party. We want yeah, that's fair. I totally agree, particularly as we go to the next slides and we can see some of the prizing.
I want the playmat.
It's so pretty. Also,
I literally saw it and I was like, okay, honey, you need to take it seriously. I need you to
okay, hold on. Time out. Why are you telling your husband to take it serious? I need you to take it serious.
Because we need it for the house. So I was like, you can't play nonsense, or you can't throw a deck together the night before and be like, this is fine, whatever, who cares? I was like, I need it.
But you could also win.
But if we both take it serious, and then we could get 2.
Okay, I support that. I just needed to make sure we were on the same page.
I will try.
You're gonna
listen. I never got the Cindy playmat. I always helped everybody else get theirs, so I never got mine.
It's so pretty. That is probably one of my biggest regrets, not getting that, and the fact that I only have 3 non-foil Cindy's, and I have had friends offer to give me. Not give it to me, but sell me one at a good price. And I feel like I just have to live in my shame that I only got 3.
Well, at least here's this. When we were just getting into Lorcana when they had the DLC in Fort Worth, we went to Collect-a-Con while the DLC was happening. We found that out. And afterwards me and Ricky were talking, we're talking about what that meant. And we're like, oh
yeah. So I think I'm excited for some of the promos. The only thing I will say is I would have liked to see non-frozen Like,
I think Elsa did so well with set one. I don't think.
yeah,
And even proving with Into the Unknown.
yeah.
Also,
That's true.
It
I do, like,
it
this
sells
was
so well. Like they're gonna keep it. It's clearly very
popular. Yeah.
I think that's getting the Disney beyond just outside of people that play
Frozen,
Lorcana.
Which,
Pegasus.
speaking of these are the other. So Pegasus is the participation promo.
I'm so excited. I love him.
Is Simba top 32?
No,
the Elsa is top 32. Are those just like the?
I think the other ones are just the prize wall.
Okay, that's what I thought. They just needed a moment up there.
Yeah.
Also,
my only complaint is I love Mulan, but I would have rather had the Pegasus as a playmat than the Mulan.
That's fair. The Pegasus is really freaking cute. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I kind of prefer the other Pegasus art for that card.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't know. The colors aren't like my taste of color palette.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, I much prefer the darker like reds, like the Mulan.
See, I think for me, it's just I love Hercules. Like,
yeah, same.
I literally had it on today as background noise while I was doing stuff.
I'm also excited for this Let It Go, but I will say I was putting together all of this before the show today, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be real sad that I don't have the foil version of this. That I didn't earn that last season.
It's okay. We saw it, and I was like, "Oh, so now we need those."
Yeah,
and we need these. And I was like, "Luckily, we are lucky enough. We have of the foil. Let It Go."
Yeah,
and we had so many because we went to so many DLCs. We had a few of the Dragonfires and foil. We ended up even like selling a couple of them to get more enchanteds. But I was like, "Ooh, now we can get them in non-foil, and we need the pen and." Why don't they have a bucket hat? And
yeah, no bucket hat for Brandon.
Very rude.
Which is a little.
I mean, I guess he got a special one at Worlds.
Just kidding.
None for everybody else.
Very, very happy for everyone who was at Worlds. Well deserved for everyone that was there. We just also are sad we didn't get to be there like everyone else.
Ears.
Yeah.
Yes.
They really should do more kind of ears. Like they are missing out. The Elsa pen. I need to know. Liam could probably tell me. Is it as beautiful in person as I think it is?
Oh, the Whole New World.
No, the Elsa. The world pen. Yes.
Oh, that was a world pen.
No, not that one. The Elsa one made me think of the world's pen.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
is it as pretty in person as I think it is? Because
yes, it is.
Oh,
I just want the pin from this set.
Oh, the pins from like League.
I just like that Into the Unknown pin that we have already. Like that one's really cool.
I don't have any pens because I have been in and out of the hospital and I haven't been able to go to any leagues.
Where'd you get the Into the Unknown one from?
Oh, I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
I want it.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Did we get that one already? I just have Hook so far.
No,
and I think,
as far as I know, we haven't given out.
Yeah. Okay.
No. But speaking of local and pens and things, makes me think. Our LGS Eclipse just announced their Random Jafar set champs. It is only $15 for entry.
The 23rd.
It's on July 26th. $15 for entry. Signups open on Saturday the 12th. And then prizing is pack per win for Swiss rounds, top 8 prizing for top cut. So Liz generally does everything she can. She sets stuff aside for prizing, so it should be pretty good. Only $15. That's not bad.
Yes, she is, which is sad. We were teaching the other people at Eclipse how to run Lorcana last night. So need packs, yes, always. Bri, did we forget anything this week?
I don't think so. I think that was everything on our agenda. They announced that while we were on here. So since I got the text thing, I was like, oh, we need to announce that.
I think the only thing I have for us as like a final thing is next week we have a great little guest joining us.
We have a little guest. Should we say now or should we wait? Make them wait.
Let's make them sweat it.
Make them sweat it. We'll announce it
later this week.
That's up later this week.
Chelsea's like, I'm sweating here. I'm nervous.
Me every time I go and play.
And then I do think we will have. Oh, is it Luffy? I wish.
God, I wish.
Amazing.
We have just Luffy and Forrest. Whenever we do it out. So I'm thinking for Rain and Jafar, we need to make a trip down to Austin for one of their set champs.
Oh yeah, I love that idea. We'll connect after and plan that with the game.
And we'll just bring Forrest with us, and then him and Luffy can meet.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we will have to announce very soon is we do know of the official dates for the Diet Coke Invitational Round 2.
Part 2. I might actually get to participate in this one this time. Hopefully.
So,
It'd be a lot cooler if it was Dr. Pepper.
Chelsea, you keep those comments to yourself. We are a Diet Coke household.
Okay, listen, y'all are slowly converting me. I do have Diet Coke in my fridge because I got them for you, and then I was like, okay, I'm thirsty. I don't want just water or coconut water. What do we have? I was like, oh, there's Diet Coke. And then those were gone.
We're converting them.
We are gone. And then somehow I ended up going and getting more, and I don't know what's happening.
I love Coke Zero.
That's fair.
I love Coke Zero.
I respect the Diet Coke is not for everyone.
I told Ricky there was no Dr. Pepper products at Walt Disney World over the weekend. I said, oh, I forgot to tell you, there's no Dr. Pepper. He about had to crash out. He was like, we got a
texting problems.
Well, Chelsea, where can people find you?
On
Instagram?
On Instagram-y.
We'll update our show notes to add Chelsea's Instagram. You can also find her always at Locals.
I'm always at Locals. I go to the Locals that Courtney and Bri go to. I go to what?
Oh, I just see in our comments, our Cameron is volunteering to host a large tournament.
I like RC.
So, Cameron,
all right,
you can be so social.
You can be so social. Oh, this is great. Well, Chelsea,
notice I'm saying this and messing with him because I'm not
me. I feel so official.
You feel so official. Chelsea's all. You can also find Chelsea in our comments a lot.
Yeah, I'm in the comments.
He watches every stream.
Yeah,
making off comments.
We love it. Calling us out as you should.
Yeah, steal phone.
All right, everyone. Have a good week. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.